Tonight, a former state lawmaker and judge, now a convicted murderer.
And prosecutors pledge no more breaks for Lance Mason.
I hope he sits there in a prison cell for the rest of his life, every minute of every day, thinking about what he has done to destroy his family.
5 on your side, investigator Scott Knoll was in the courtroom today as Mason pleaded guilty to killing his ex-wife.
He is now live in our newsroom with the very latest.
Prosecutor Mike O'Malley called the crime barbaric. He says last November at the murder scene, he decided not to cut Lance Mason any breaks. Today, Mason walked into court and admitted what investigators have said for months. The former judge is a killer. Lance Mason walked into court and just 1 week before his 52nd birthday, proclaimed a decision that will likely dictate the rest of his life.
Your Honor, I wish to take responsibility for the crimes I committed. I don't wish to prolong it or delay it.
The former state lawmaker and judge emotional as he told the court he didn't want to cause his family any more pain than he already has. Mason then pled guilty to the aggravated murder of his ex-wife, Aisha Fraser. The Shaker Heights school teacher stabbed to death in front of her own daughter outside Mason's sister's house last November. In court, Mason said his daughter played a role in his decision not to go to trial.
There's no way I was going to let my daughter testify against me.
Now prosecutors hope there's no way Mason ever walks out of prison a free man. He already served time behind bars for a 2014 assault against Fraser. In that case, he was released just 9 months into a 2-year sentence. Prosecutor Michael O'Malley wasn't in office at that time, but today pledged no more breaks for Mason.
Any human being who is capable of doing to what he did to his former spouse and to do it in front of his children is a very troubled, sick human being.
It's why O'Malley says he refused to cut a deal.
Guilty, Your Honor.
Mason forced to admit each crime, including violating a protection order, stealing Fraser's car, and then ramming a police officer who responded to the scene. Pleas, the prosecutor hopes, send a message far beyond the walls of this courtroom.
Domestic violence and these type of domestic abuse crosses all socioeconomic classes and races, and the reality is we see it too often in our community. And by making him accept every count, we're attempting to send the message to the people in this county that it will not be tolerated.
What we still haven't heard is a motive for this murder. The prosecutor says that could come out when Mason is sentenced next month. Live in the newsroom on 5 on your side, investigator Scott Knoll.